yourself a huge round of applause because this is going to be a historical moment in the history of Toastmasters for three countries, India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. So please give yourself a huge round of applause while I give you 10 seconds to switch on your cameras because I do not like blank boxes, as I always say. So welcome to this wonderful meeting that we are calling the River of Life. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon. I hope that you're going to have a fabulous session. First of all, I would like to reiterate the mission of Toastmasters International, that is, we help individuals and empower them to become better and effective communicators. Before we begin the meeting and call upon the other role players, I would like to tell you a few ground rules that we are going to follow in this meeting. The first ground rule will be that please do not interrupt any of the speakers when they are speaking. When they are speaking, please refrain yourself from talking in the chat boxes so that they are not distracted by your messages. And if you're disconnected from the meeting, you can reconnect again and enjoy the session. With this, I would request some of you to please go ahead and have all the fun by unmuting yourself so that we feel that we are in the real physical space and we are going beyond boundaries like we always do. With this meeting, I want to tell you something very interesting. Do you know what unites, apart from Toastmasters, the three countries, India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan? Any options, any answers will be welcomed. You can unmute yourself and give your answers in less than 5 seconds.
Biryani. We all love cricket.
Oh, yes. And cricket, biryani.
Oh,
I heard. And anything else?
So, bharta, we call it smash bharta in Bangla.
Yes. Yes, we do that, and we do that of all our fears of public speaking, right, in Toastmasters. But apart from the things that you have mentioned, there is one very interesting thing. Yes, Rabia, Toastmaster Rabia, that is music. And I want to talk about, I will take 50 seconds to talk about one of the phenomenal writers, poets of the three countries, Faiz Ahmed Faiz. He has been tying the knots of three countries in a phenomenal way. There was one famous ghazal that he has written, and I will sing just 2 lines of that. Hum ke thehre ajnabi itni madaraton ke baad hum ke thehre ajnabi. For people who do not understand Hindi, this means that, yes, I know I was a stranger even after trying so hard. But here in Toastmasters, we are going to promise that no person, nobody in this meeting is feeling like a stranger because we are a big family. And with this, I would like to welcome all of you to this joint meeting of Dhaka Toastmasters Club, Karachi Toastmasters Club, and Globetrotters Toastmasters Club. A warm welcome to everyone. Thank you so much. And with this, I would like to call upon stage for the next person who is going to take the stage and take this meeting forward. Someone who has been the person behind putting this meeting forward, and this was his brainchild from past 2 months. And this person has been trying relentlessly to get all the people, all the role players together, along with several other people who have been working on this team for getting this meeting together. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Mrinal Kanti Ghosh from Globetrotters Toastmasters Club, who will be presiding over this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Mrinal. Sorry.
Thank you so much for your beautiful wishes. And it's a great day. It's a historical day for all of us because of 2 reasons. One is we 3 countries are gathering in one place, and also the World Cup football also start at the same time. So this is the 2 important days happening in a simultaneous time. And yes, absolutely, it's a great moment. It's an emotional moment for all of us. And definitely the theme of the meeting today, we all know, the river of life. Life is like a river. It always flowing. It can flow slowly or it can flow quick. It can change courses, but nothing can stop river from flowing. Same thing happening in our life. There are no external circumstances that can stop it from flowing. One thing is sure, life is always goes on. We are beautifully connected with 3 countries with River of Life. And we'll be hearing more details from our beautiful Toastmaster of the day. So prior to that, I just want to invite DTM Talha bin Hamid. He's an amazing person by profession, chartered accountant, dedicated Toastmaster, past district director of 122P. And we share a lot of beautiful memories with him. So without further ado, I just want to hand over the stage to the presiding officer of the day, DTM Talha Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mrinal, for that honor of handing over the meeting. As presiding officer, I welcome once again everyone to this meeting. And I will not take much time, but I will say certain things. We as nations have had a long history of being oppressed. But we also have had a long history of being the oppressors in our own capacity. That is human nature, after all. And today, as a start of this meeting, I will start with something that acknowledges some major event in our past, and our brethren will know what that event is. And it serves as atonement or a possible apology for those events. It is a poem by a poet called Nasir Torabi. It was made famous by one of the very famous Pakistani dramas, Humsafar. It appears to be a ballad of a broken-hearted lover, but what it really is an ode to our brethren in Bangladesh. So here it goes, and I'll make a lopsided attempt to translate it along the way. Forgive me for my limited linguistic skills. वो हम सफर था मगर उससे हम नवाई न थी, ये धूप छांव का आलम रहा जुदाई न थी. We were companions but did not see eye to eye. We were together, yet not quite. मोहब्बतों का सफर इस तरह भी गुजरा था, शिकस्ता दिल थे मुसाफिर, शिकस्ता पाई न थी. We traversed the roads of love together. Our feet were never tired, yet our hearts were never alive. अदावतें थी, तगाफुल था, रंजिशें थी बहुत, बिछड़ने वाले में सब कुछ था, बेवफाई न थी. There was animosity, resentment, even callousness. Yet, my beloved, you never lacked faith. बिछड़ते वक्त उन आंखों में थी हमारी गजल, गजल भी वो जो किसी को अभी सुनाई न थी. When we parted, you had my own words in your eyes, the words that I had yet to write. किसे पुकार रहा था वो डूबता हुआ दिल, सदा तो आई थी लेकिन कोई दुहाई न थी. I heard someone calling my name, a vague sound, yet it never repeated. अजीब होती है राह सुखन भी देख नसीर, वहां भी आ गए आखिर जहां रसाई न थी. These words are but a portal to the soul, taking us where no man had gone before. The river of life, ladies and gentlemen, is a journey where we always look towards the future, but it would be good if we recognize some things that should not be repeated from our past. Only then we will make real progress. It is a great honor for me to preside over this historic meetup between 3 great countries, Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. And today, The theme, of course, will be elaborated upon our Toastmaster of the day. But before that, let me recognize so many glittering stars that are present in this meeting. We have our International President, Matt Kinsey, who has so kindly consented to be a speaker in this meeting. A greater honor cannot be imagined. We have District Director, DTM Ain Al. We have our past District Director, if I'm correct, DTM Jennifer. And apologies if I miss, oh yeah, we have our inaugural District Director of District 122, DTM Samir Hamid Dodi. And apologies, I'm sure I'm missing a lot of district leaders right now. But let it be said that when we are together, we are one. The designations, the nationalities, the places of residence may be temporary. What is permanent is our humanness and our status as Toastmasters. That will never change. And the beauty of Toastmasters is that no matter who you are, no matter where you belong, and no matter what destiny you reach in terms of your personal or Toastmaster life, you remain a Toastmaster, you remain open, you remain ready to give, you remain anxious to meet other Toastmasters. And that is true even when you are a fresh Toastmaster or our International President, Matt Kinsey. It is hard to imagine a more beautiful community than Toastmasters on this planet. And let me tell you, everyone, I have been to many communities. I have never, ever found a community like Toastmasters. So with that, I will hand over the charge to someone who is an absolute gem. And she is our Toastmaster of the day, and she is from Dhaka Toastmasters Club. Just give me a second. Another reality of the subcontinent, frequent power outages and adequate arrangements that need to be made. So she's a real estate professional, an entrepreneur, a lifelong learner. She's an avid public speaker, debater, and MC who's been yearning for a platform like Toastmasters to uphold and improve her oratory skills. With the motto of strengthening the Toastmasters platform, she's serving as the president of Uttara Speakers Toastmasters Club. She's an activist and attached with organizations like Utsho Bangladesh and Alor Pothar Jatri, where she focuses on educating women and children about their social rights. Despite playing so many roles, Kashfi loves her role as a mother and wife. She's blessed with a beautiful daughter named Nashmia and an extremely supportive husband, Toastmaster Miko. So something rare, a wife calling her supporting husband in public. Toastmaster Kashfi certainly has a heart of gold. So without further ado, let's take things forward, and please give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Kashfi.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha bin Hamid Bhai. It has been an amazing journey with you while preparing for this gracious event. Without further ado, good morning, good evening, assalamu alaikum, hello, namaste to all the benevolent Toastmasters from yours truly, Kashfi Ahmed. I'm the president of Uttara Speakers Toastmasters Club. It's a new club, it's an aspiring club. As we all know that a history is being made in Qatar tonight, and another history is being made in the Toastmasters fraternity of India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan at the same time. River of life. Rivers symbolize life, fertility, freedom, a path, and the passage of time. The river beautifully depicts the fluidity and the beauty of life, how it flows and never stops. And that is why we all are together tonight in this beautiful event, where countries like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and our honorable president, Matt Kinsley from the USA, and others, to other Toastmasters from around the globe has joined us. This shows the love of one's country is a splendid thing, but why should love stop at the border? This is a beautiful example of unity, of how cultures come together and uphold each other. Without further ado, I would like to carry on with the program, and I would like to tell you how this entire event is categorized. So first of all, we are going to have the prepared speech segment, where we have 4 magnificent speakers from the Toastmasters community and 4 equally superb evaluators from the same fraternity. After that, we're going to have an extremely lively table topic session with an amazing table topic master. And for the roles, I would like to hand over the stage to none other than our district director, Director of District 124, DTM Ayanpal. I like to see him as an author, a beautiful person with a beautiful vocal quality and poetic abilities. He is an eminent and experienced Toastmaster who has been in this journey for a long time. So DTM Ayanpal, if you're here, please take on the, explain your role about General Evaluator, and also please introduce your team.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Kashmi Ahmed from Bangladesh. And we have a huge round of digital as well as physical applause for Kashmi Ahmed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you, if you do not know it already, a little bit about my motherland. One's motherland is derived from one's mother. And my mother, Shibani Pal, was born in what was once India, what was then Pakistan, and what is now Bangladesh. So technically, what does it say about my motherland? Well, it doesn't matter, because somewhere, if as we go down through generations, we have all been a part of the subcontinent as one country. And today, just like that magnificent river that flows through the countries originating from Tibet and then passing across with different names through its tributaries across Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh, we have in this meeting a group of role players who will help quench your thirst for knowledge through their timely feedback. At the end of the day, you will have a lot of drops of water, but they will not be from your eyes, nor will there be any example of vice. And you will definitely feel happy as well as nice if you give these people a try. So today, as a general evaluator, I will have a team of role players. Of course, there would be 4 evaluators, which will be introduced by Kashfi in due time. These evaluators will be evaluating the speakers. I will not tell you about their names, but we also have certain other role players who will be playing inimitable roles. The first among them is the grammarian. The role of a grammarian and what exactly he or she needs to do will be explained by the gentleman who is going to speak next. You have already heard him speak, and when he speaks, I've been told a lot of knees go weak. But today he is here from the beautiful country of Pakistan, which means a pious place. And I can't wait to find out what he has to tell us about his role. Please welcome with a huge round of physical as well as digital applause, past district director, distinguished Toastmaster, Talha bin Hamid from Pakistan.
Thank you so much, District Director Pal. As a role, as a grammarian today, it will be my job to highlight good and creative usage of language, idioms, and other elegant usages that I detect. It will also be my unfortunate duty to detect grammatical errors and suggest corrected usage in its place. So that would be my role. Over to you, Mr. Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Do we have a word of the day for today or an idiom of the day?
Yes, our word master is Toastmaster Mohammed Musa. He will, he will explain.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for Talha bin Hamid? And what is grammar without words? What is a string without the right amount of chords? So we have with us someone who will be playing the role of the word master. Ladies and gentlemen, to be a master of words, you need to find the right letters and string them into the perfect sentence. And to give us a little bit of a clue, can we please welcome onto the digital podium, Toastmaster Musa. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, please?
Thank you very much.
I know you're the master of words, but your words are not coming through clearly now. If you can repeat them. Musa. Mohammed Musa?
There's some connection issue at his end.
Yes, I think this is exactly what happens. Sometimes we know the words, we're not effectively able to string them in a sentence. Today, I believe the internet is playing a word master for Mohammed Musa. If you can hear us, maybe you can turn off your camera and try to speak again. Yes, it's so much better, brother. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Today, my role as a word master, I will tell you the word of the day, and the word of the day is perennial, which means everlasting or perpetual. In the last of meeting, I will be noticing all the word used by the speakers, and in the last I will be reporting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed Musa. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, please? And I can't help but notice that India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh seems to be having today a perennial problem with connectivity, probably because all the internet in our homes has been consumed by the channels where people are trying to watch the World Cup. Nevertheless, we will move forward with another very important role. Now, no Toastmasters meeting is complete without that of the arc counter. And after you've heard that person speak, you're more like, aha, counter. So today we have someone from India who will be playing the role of the arc counter. Please welcome, with a huge round of applause, Aniruddha Gorai, who will be playing the role of the arc counter today. Can we have a huge round of applause for Aniruddha?
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to everyone. So, as you all know, in order to be a good speaker, we need to keep control of our voice. Now, we cannot help but go ahead with some filler words, which is not very intentional. We don't mean to say it, but we go ahead and do it nonetheless. So, today, it will be my job to see those filler words like or, and some things like repeated words or long pauses, unintentional long pauses. So these are words or some phrases or some kind of, let's say, gestures which actually impact our speeches a lot. So I will be keeping track of that. And at the end of the meeting, when called upon by the general evaluator, I'll be sharing my report. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Aniruddha. Can we have a huge round of applause for Aniruddha? Sorry, excuse me. We also have today someone playing the role of a wow finder. A wow finder is someone who tries to find out all the nice things in the meeting that makes us go wow and makes us say how right here, right now. And today the role of the wow finder is going to be played by Toastmaster Nazia Nusrat Shamma from Pakistan. Can we please welcome Nazia with a huge round of digital as well as physical applause? So I believe we are just hearing a language of utensils right now, and we need to be a little more human and try to be a little more humane, even though there will be women as well as men. Can I please request our wow finder, if she is here, to speak up?
Meena, Toastmaster Meena means our wow finder.
DTM Iron, there is a small correction. I would be the WAF finder for today. So I'm Toastmaster Meena representing from India. As we traverse through the journey in this meeting, the river of life, it's very important for us to capture the moments. How can we not forget to capture these beautiful moments and end the meeting? So my duty for today is to capture these beautiful moments and make them perennial and to represent them at the end of the meeting while called upon by our GE, DTM Iron Pal. What are your wow moments? Keep finding them. Let me share mine at the end. Over to you, Iron.
Thank you so much, Meena. Can we have a huge round of applause for Meena? I'm sorry, I had someone else in mind, but you ensured that from wow, I'll go how right here, right now. And thank you for doing that. So that was Meena joining us from India, along with, and I'm sure Musa, who's joined us from Pakistan, is counting all the good words that are being used. But more than anyone else, there is someone who's going to be playing the role of an active listener. And may I request Pooja Mehta to be on mute and anyone else who is speaking. So our active listener today is someone who's joining us from Bangladesh. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Zaman Hussain, who also happens to be the division director.
Thank you, respected General Evaluator and distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. First of all, I'm sorry at this moment I'm not being able to just switch on my video camera due to some limitations. So as an active listener, what would be my role? Being a good listener is just being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. As the listener, I will note interesting tidbits of information from any of the speakers and ask questions near the end of the meeting to see if everyone was paying attention. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal.
Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for our active listener, who I'm sure is listening actively to all the applause. But despite all of these things, unlike the timeless rivers of our lands, we have to abide by time. And to take care of that, we have the timer today, who's joining us from India. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Kondala Rao, who will be playing the role of the timer today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Very good evening, very good afternoon, and very good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I'm Kondal Rao, representing from India, and you are a timer for today's meeting. As a timer, my duty is to record and report the time of all prepared speeches, table topics, and speech evaluations during this meeting. I will show green card at minimum time, yellow card at mean time, and red card at maximum time limit. And there's a grace period of 30 seconds for all speeches. For 5 to 7 minute prepared speeches, I will show green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. For evaluations, green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 30 seconds, 3 minutes. For table topics, 1 minute, green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. If the speaker speaks under time or over time by more than 30 seconds, you will be disqualified and will not be eligible for awards. I'll come back with my report when Toastmaster of the Day calls me to the stage. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
General evaluator. Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster Rao. Can we have a round of applause for him? And just one small clarification, we do not have a grace period of 30 seconds for table topics in the lower limit. We have it only for the upper side. So with that, I've introduced you to the best of my ability to everyone here. I would also like to tell you today that we have a very exciting vote counter, which will be played by distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid and Toastmaster Mrinal Kanti Ghosh. And with that, I would like to pass it back to our wonderful MC from Bangladesh. Can we please welcome her back to the podium with a huge round of digital as well as physical applause.
Thanks a lot, DTM Ayanpal. It is always a pleasure to hear you speak. Now let's get on with the event. Prepared speeches. Now, don't go with my facial expression. It's not going to be boring. Trust me, it's not going to be serious. You're going to enjoy it to the fullest. And trust me, you are not going to regret for missing the opening of Qatar World Cup. Stay tuned with us. All right, before I introduce the first speaker, I would like to introduce his evaluator. The person, I didn't want to take her name first, but you know, the way she explains herself is so beautiful that I could not hold back myself. She's none other than DTM Jennifer Ghosh from India. She says, Jennifer means fairness, and the core of her philosophy in life is to give back to society in whichever way possible. Complementing a 15-year stint at Toastmasters, Jennifer is often heard quoting, I joined Toastmasters because I needed it. I continue to stay on because Toastmasters needs me. That is so true. That is so true. She's the past President Distinguished Club Growth Director and past Medley Distinguished District Director as well. Presently, she's serving as District Mentor for District 124. She's none other than our DTM, Jennifer Helen Ghosh. Now I would like to continue, this is a special honor for me. I am truly touched and honored to introduce this gentleman tonight. Let me see whether you can guess.
Yes. Sorry, Kasipa. I'd like to read out the project objectives, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, please. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. Good day, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here with you all today. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Timer, please note, the timing is 5 to 7 minutes with 5 minutes thereafter for a Q&A. I am really looking forward to this speech. Thank you so very much, and over to you again. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you to DTM Jennifer Ghosh. Now, this person, I'm going to start like a puzzle or like a riddle. This particular Toastmaster, he wears numerous hats. He's a father, a grandfather, a husband. He's a musician, a business owner, a Boy Scout volunteer, bicyclist, and bookworm. I ran out of my counts. Now, after serving as a minister for 2 years and participating in speech and debate for most of his schooling, this person didn't feel nervous speaking in front of people. Then why did he join Toastmasters? You know why? He says that he joined Toastmasters Club because it was giving out free food. However, what he found most intriguing about Toastmasters wasn't what was on his plate, but it was the evaluation portion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly an honor for me to introduce you Toastmasters International President, DTM Matt Kinsey. He is a Toastmaster for nearly 2 decades. He has earned the Distinguished Toastmaster designation 5 times. He's been a member of 7 clubs and chartered one with his wife, Distinguished Toastmaster Janine Kinsey. all while building his own business. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for DTM Matt Kinsey, the president of Toastmasters International. Sir, over to you.
What is it that Toastmasters really does? What do we truly do on a daily basis? What we do matters. Think about our mission. Our mission is to empower people to become more effective communicators and leaders. And communication skills and leadership skills are critically needed in the world today. But what we actually do goes far beyond that. And this meeting is a representation of that. Well, what do I mean? Well, first off, what we do matters to the individual member. Because what we do is expressed in our club mission statement. At the end of it, it says, which results in self-confidence and personal growth. So the outcome of somebody going through the Toastmasters program is quite often an increase in genuine self-confidence. That self-confidence that says, you know what, I know who I am. And I know there are people who don't care for me, but that's okay, because I know what I bring to those around me. And I also know that not everyone's going to appreciate that. And I don't have to live in this place of having to please others. Why does that happen? Well, I think it happens because of evaluation. Because through evaluation, both the formal evaluation and the informal evaluation we receive from other members, what we discover is our significance. That unique positive aspect that brings light to the world around us, whether that world is our family, our work environment, another community organization, a city, a country, or indeed the world. And we have seen members who have led in recent articles. We now have a distinguished Toastmaster who is the head of state. We have a distinguished Toastmaster who is the Speaker of Parliament in his country. Those are incredible accomplishments. Now, not everyone will rise to be the head of state of an organization or to run a business. But everyone has family, whether it's their natural family or their adoptive family, whether it's a family by legal terms or a family by association. We have that family and we can make a difference. So what we do matters to the individual. And I think it's it is the greatest gift that we can give somebody, that gift of genuine self-confidence, so they know who they are and they can go out and make the difference in the world. But there's a deeper purpose, and that's what this meeting illustrates. So Dr. Smedley said late in his life, and I'm going to read this to make sure I don't get the quote wrong, understanding comes through communication, and through understanding, we find the way to peace. Think about that. It's a lot more difficult to hate somebody you're sitting across the table from when you know them and understand them, understand what motivates them. And where does that come? That comes from communication. So all we have to do is look around the world today and look at the conflicts, both within countries and between countries that are occurring. And often the root cause is a lack of communication, a lack of understanding of desires and goals. Yes, there's often ego involved. Yes, there's often what we would call in the United States macho man, that I have to be stronger than you, I have to flex my muscles. That's often involved, but quite often it starts with a lack of understanding. We have different religions around the world, we have different cultures around the world, we have different social practices and laws and mores around the world. And when I go to some place, I try to understand. And I will share with you a quick story to illustrate that. I'm very sensitive to how I greet people. And for years, I would say namaste when I met somebody who I knew for sure was from India. And one day I was like, is that really proper? And so I asked past international president Deepak Menon, I'm like, Deepak, is it okay if I say namaste? And he started laughing at me. And I said, what's so funny? He goes, Matt, we hear namaste more from Americans than we do from our fellow Indians. Okay, it's fallen out of practice. But he said, yes, it's very proper, it's very appropriate. Now, in some societies, that using a traditional greeting, if you're not from that culture, may not be appropriate. So we have to ask, we have to find out that understanding. And that understanding only comes through asking questions, through sharing stories, and evaluating. And what do we do at Toastmasters? At the heart of it, we teach people to share their stories, to share their personal story of how they've made an impact on someone else's life. So we have a noble purpose. We are changing the world, one life, one speech at a time, by teaching people to communicate with confidence. Toastmaster.
What an amazing, amazing motivation speech. Thank you so much, Toastmasters International President Matt Kinsley. It is truly amazing to hear these words from you. I know we have learned a lot from you tonight. So I would like to give the floor to our speech evaluator, Jennifer Ghosh, ma'am. If you're here to take down the question answers, are you going to take it down or should I continue?
No, I think you will have to take the Q&A.
All right.
I
Okay.
will just be giving the evaluation at the end of the session when Mr. General Evaluator calls me for.
Okay, great.
Thank
So the floor is open for Q&A. Dear Toastmasters, this is an amazing moment for you all to ask whatever questions you have in your mind to none other than the president himself. Please feel free. Just write down the questions in the chat box so that I can read it out to him, and he's all ours tonight. So we have one question. So we have actually two. So I'm going to read out one, sir. How do we influence our family members to join Toastmasters? It is from, can you please, sir, can you please give me your actual name, please?
Ilias Theophilus.
Ilias, okay, from Toastmaster Ilias, it's how do we influence our family members to join Toastmasters?
I think that's an interesting question. And the way I did it was by mistake. That's how I got my wife and my son to join. We were headed out of town and I was competing in an area speech contest. And my wife did not know that the speech was about her. And I said, oh, we just have to stop at this place. I'm competing in the speech contest. And then we'll go on to our weekend event. Well, she didn't know the speech was about her. And afterwards, she's like, that's really cool. And she started looking for a club on her own. I think the best way is don't try to get them to join Toastmasters. Get them to come to a single meeting. Now, what do I mean by that? If you get them to a meeting, let the meeting sell it. They are far more likely, whether they should be or not, they're going to take your advice to go check it out, but they will take other people's advice on whether they should join or not.
All right, great. So we have another very interesting question, and I also have this in my mind, from Miss Atifa Deshmukhia. She's asking how to prepare for international speech contest. You know, your special tricks.
I would not say I'm an expert on that, but watch previous world champion speeches, share stories that impact you, and think, if I had 7 minutes to talk to the world, what message would I want to share with them? And when you do that, but talk to those around you who've been more successful than I have in the international speech contest.
Okay. Now we have another question from Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. He's asking, Mr. President, I feel that most of the evaluators in clubs provide evaluation in a more formal, reserved manner, instead of highlighting the real improvement areas. Is there anything that can be done to improve evaluations?
Yeah, I think practice evaluating and get feedback on your evaluations. So many clubs don't evaluate the evaluators. And I believe that's part of the role of the general evaluation, to provide some, not on each individual evaluator, but provide some general tips on evaluation at the end of the evaluation session.
All
You
right.
have
Now,
to
yes.
I think
Sorry.
we're just running out of time. So you just have to be careful there, because if you go too hard, you can alienate members. So leave some of that deeper evaluation for a one-on-one conversation.
Now we have this is the last question, and this is from the president of Dhaka Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Shakil Azaz. He wants to know, what is the pathway towards deeper understanding of the self?
It starts with your mindset of being willing to be open to other people's feedback on how your actions and your behaviors land on them and how they perceive you. And then you have to make a decision about what you're going to do. But self-examination, I could speak for 8 hours on self-examination. So the first thing is, it starts with that mindset of willingness to understand that you are okay as you are, but your current production in life is based on who you are. And if you're comfortable with that, then there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to achieve more, then you need to examine yourself, and then you will start to achieve more.
Mr. President, our club growth director from District 124, he has a question for you. So I would like to take this for you. Do you think nomination process being initiated around 6 months of a term might get leaders more focused on election and not service?
I would like to give that some thought before I just throw out an answer. But I think that will be a very interesting question for me to think about. Election cycles and the way we select leaders is a very interesting topic to me. That, again, that's something I could spend all day talking about.
So that means this is my request to DTM Talha and all the other leaders around. I think we need another fantabulous session with President Matt Kinsey. What do you say? So that, for hours, we can ask him whatever questions we want, right? Okay. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. And I hope you're going to enjoy the rest of the session. Now, dear Toastmasters, let's move on to the next speaker. As I promised you that you're going to enjoy each and every moment of this event. Now, as you know, before introducing the speaker, I would like to introduce the evaluator. And the evaluator for the second speaker is Toastmaster Imran Rana. He's a passionate Toastmaster since 2015. And he has served in all club positions as well as district administration manager. And currently he's the area director of Area B1, District 122. He's also the VP Education of Husne Khitabat Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Imran Rana, can you please talk about the project?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmaster and guests, please confirm that I'm audible and visible. Okay, our next speaker, Toastmaster Kamal Banik, will going to present his project. And the project objectives of his speech is for the member to learn or review the basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Let me repeat it again. The purpose of this project is to learn or review the basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. The speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, and the speech title is Just Take the First Step. Toastmaster Kamal Banik is a newbie and serving Vice President membership at Globetrotters Toastmasters Club. So put your hands together for Toastmaster Kamal Banik. The virtual stage is all yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Kamal Banik, please keep in mind that he's very courageous because he's a newbie and he's already in his second speech, and this is in front of Toastmaster International President and the fraternity of India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Toastmaster Kamal Bani, the virtual stage is all yours.
To begin with, I just want to confirm, am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
A warm greeting to everyone present in this meeting. Few months back, there was a training session in my company that was mainly focused on leadership and team building skills. The trainer was conducting different activities and we were divided in different groups. In one such activity, we were asked to choose a leader from our group. And while choosing, we were actually pushing each other to be the leader. Hey, you be the leader. No, I don't want to be the leader. Let him make the leader. And no one was actually coming forward. And after a few moments, everyone of my group actually turned towards me and literally pushed me forward and said, hey, Kamal, you be the leader. I was hesitant. No, I don't want to be the leader. I have always avoided every such situation where I had to come forward and take a lead. I've always had a fear of failure. What if I fail? The people around me will make a laugh of me. And these all things were going in my mind. After a while, when all the groups were ready with their leaders and we were still struggling to find one, the trainer came towards our group and said, hey, are you guys ready with the leader? I was anxious. My face had a sign of fear. The trainer looked at me and said, hey, come on, don't worry, just take the first step and things will fall into place. Believe me, you won't regret it. I was standing in front of a wall. The wall was made of my fear of failure, insecurities, and it looked really high. I was thinking if I could cross that wall. At the same time, those words were also ringing in my ear. Just take the first step. I took some time and took a deep breath, gathered some courage and climbed up on that wall and jumped on the other side. I said, okay, I'll be the leader. On that task, where all my group members were blindfolded and I had to lead them to collect different things from the room and then make a structure out of those. Things were going really well. I was feeling more confidence within me while doing the task. I realized that it is not that tough what I was thinking few moments before. The toughest thing was crossing that wall, taking that first step. And things after that is actually easier. Session ended really well. While leaving, the trainer came towards me and said, hey, do you still have a regret? I said, yes, I have regret. I have regret of not taking that step earlier. We exchanged smile and went on our way. And from that day onward, whenever I get any chance, any opportunity to come forward and take a step and take initiative,
We have lost
I
this.
think, yeah, I think he has screen is frozen.
Can the
an
timer
improvement within me.
He's back, I think. He's back. Yes, Toastmaster Kamal, can you please resume from where you were about 30 seconds ago? Yeah.
The things ended really well. And from that day onwards, in every possible situation, I tried to come forward and take a lead, take an initiative. And it has incredibly helped me to build my confidence. I feel that my insecurities are fading away. I have also got some good words from my seniors that they have noticed incredible, significant improvement within me. Actually, those 5 words, just take the first step, has created a magic for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you face such situation or you see someone facing such situation, be that angel to you, be that angel to them. Come forward and tell them, hey, come on, just take the first step. And believe me, it will create a magic for them. Thank you. And over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kamal Bani. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Kamal Bani, please? Moving on, I would like to introduce the third speaker's evaluator. Distinguished Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jaimi is from Bangladesh. He's an author and a PhD candidate. He was the Associate Club Director of District 124. He's the Associate Club Director of District 124. Prior to that, he was Division L Director, Area L5 Director, Club President, VP Education, and a club coach. He was the Speech Evaluation Contest Champion from Division L in 2019 and 2020 from Bangladesh. DTM Jamaluddin Jaimi, please explain the project to the other Toastmasters.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Our third speaker, DTM Raghunatha Raju, is going to deliver his speech from Team Collaboration Pathway, Level 3 Elective Project, Connect with Your Audience. And the project focuses on the different audience types and how to address them effectively. And today is the perfect match for him. The purpose of the project is to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. I wish all the success of the speakers because he has the perfect match to deliver the speech with unfamiliar audience today. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, DTM Jamaluddin Jaimi. So a short intro about our next speaker. He's 3 times DTM and completed 9 pathways. Division Director of Division A, District 101, he calls himself a nomadic Toastmasters, as he virtually loves roaming around different countries of the world. Are we really free? DTM Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju. DTM Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju, are we really free?
Before I start, I request Joe Master to keep me in gallery mode and not on spotlight. Thank you very much. I am from India, a free and independent nation. And so is everyone here. Our constitution says, respective constitution says, a free and independent nations. But I have one question for you, my dear friends. Raise your hand if you still think we are free and independent and not bound by some invisible shackles. I doubt it. I was about 8 years old and always fascinated by the gospel of Christ that I used to hear from my friends at school. One day, I came home with the Bible in my hand and a cross in my neck. I was thrashed and lectured for very long. I felt so low. I didn't get to choose the religion of my choice. That instant shattered all my self-confidence or my decision-making at a young age of 8 years. With such polarized views against others' religion, or when we force our children to follow the religion of our choice and not their choice, or in fact the religion itself, are we free and independent? I doubt it. I always stuttered till I joined Toastmasters. Year 2007, I joined a mid-sized IT organization. And just few months into it, I noticed my fellow teammate Sriram was given opportunity to visit our client in the United States. Strange. And I went to my manager Uday and asked him, Uday, why not me? Why just Sriram? I thought I was hardworking and had good knowledge. Raghu, because you stutter and it will be a disgrace for the company. You see, just because I stutter, all my hard work, all my knowledge is under the gutter. I lost my confidence once again in my life. With such views in our mind, when we discriminate people based upon their caste, creed, color, or their mental or physical disabilities, and don't give equal opportunities, are we really free and independent? I doubt it. Last year, I listed a property for sale on a website. Somebody called me and he asked everything about the property. This guy worked for a major IT operation. After everything, he asked me, what is your caste? What is your creed? Eh? Dear, it's not a marriage alliance. It's just a property deal. He said it mattered. I hung up the phone thinking his education was incomplete. With such views, narrow views against others' caste, creed, religion, can we call ourselves free and independent? I noticed even in Toastmasters this follow. When I joined a meeting in Czech Republic, I was pushed out of the meeting 15 minutes. Rather, I had to come out because I was discriminated and made fun of being an Indian origin. The person who was hosting the meeting kept telling jokes saying that India is full of beggars and it doesn't belong to entrepreneurs. With such views, I doubt we are free and independent. Only if my parents recognize it doesn't matter whether my name is Raghu, Rahim, or Robert, I'm just still their son. Only if they are given a free choice, not forced to choose a religion of their choice. Only if my boss had the mindset to give me equal opportunity, just like Sriram and others in the office. Only if as a society, we don't judge people based upon their religion, or caste, creed, color, or maybe even sexuality. Probably that would have made the world a better place. If we were to be made all alike, probably God would have made robots and not humans. Look at a bouquet. It's good and beautiful with different colors of flowers. With just color. One color is just pale as is. Can't we treat each and every person as equal and stop that fight? Great battles are within, not outside. My fellow freedom fighters, this is the time we come out and start this fight against that unintended bias in our mind and let the freedom begin from here. It doesn't matter which nation you belong to. It doesn't matter which religion you belong to. It doesn't matter which caste, creed, color you belong. What matters is if you stand, look at your neighbor, your left or right, and if you cannot look at that person as your equal, my fellow friend, I have a question. Are we really free and independent? Toastmaster.
Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster Raghunandha Raju? Thank you so much for such an eye-opening speech. Moving forward, this is the last speech of the prepared session. So the last evaluator of the prepared speech section tonight is DTM Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh. She's a stress and anxiety management coach and a meditation practitioner. She joined Toastmasters in September 2020. She was district finalist in International Speech Contest in District 91, UK, London in 2021-2022. She was also the Table Topics Area Champion in District 41, which comprises of North India, East India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Bhutan. And it was held in 2020-2021. She's the immediate past president of Kolkata Advanced Club. She has been a VP Education for an Advanced Club and a Global Club. She is currently serving as the Area K3 Director in District 124. Ladies and gentlemen, DTM Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose statement for our next speaker is, this project is for the member to practice being aware of his or her thoughts and feelings, as well as the impact his or her responses has on others. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share his or her experience completing the project. The time constraints for this speech, the speaker has a choice either to do a 2 to 3 minute speech or a 5 to 7 minute speech. The speaker has chosen to do a 5 to 7 minute speech. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gayatri, DTM Dr. Gayatri. So this Toastmaster, next speaker, our last speaker of this session is DTM M. Ashaduzaman from Bangladesh. He was the Hall of Fame President of Dhaka Toastmasters Club, Area Director of Area L4, District 41, and Club Growth Director of Division L. He is now the mentor of Division B, District 124. His project's topic tonight is Follow Your Dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, follow your dreams, DTM M. Ashaduzaman. DTM M. Ashaduzaman, follow your dreams.
Look at DTM Jimmy. He gets every year promotions. Look at Toastmaster Faiz, today's table topic master. He gets every 3 months get increments. Look at them. They are very happy. Look at me. I have a glass of water, but I can't drink it. If I looked around, I saw the failures everywhere. Failures, failures, failures. And I've started something, it is stuck somewhere. It never finished. That was in 2009, my first job. And I saw failures. And I was keep trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing. My friends, think for a moment. Have you been in similar situation? What would you do? You hit rock bottom, yes, and bounce back. And that's what I did. I started dreaming that moment, and I tried to dream big. And I want to turn all my negatives into positives. Mr. President, Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters, have you been in similar situation in many times? I've been in many times in similar situation, and I tried to change those negatives to positives. And that started long back when I was 6 years old. One day, I went to my uncle's house and I saw their boys were playing chess. Can you teach me how to play chess? This is not a baby's game. What a humiliation. I went to my home with a very determined mind, and I talked to my father And as being a generous father, he bought a chess set for me. Until that day, I started playing chess. I started playing chess every single day with my friends, with my relatives, with my neighbors. After 6 months, I went back to my uncle's house and saw boys are playing chess. Do you recognize me? Yes, the boy, the baby wanted to play chess. I wanted to play with you now. If you want to play chess with us, you have to first beat our chess master. I took up the challenge. The crowd was amazed. I was the underdog, and the master was nervous. I could feel the heat of his rising body, and the crowd come together and around us, and we started playing, and I won the first game. The master was furious, said, no, you have to win 2 out of 3. You guess? I won second game. And I heard from that day, the chess master stopped playing chess. But I didn't stop. I keep continuing to play chess. And one day, I became international rated chess player. But that day, that lesson gave me a big lesson in my life. If you are determined, you are committed to something, you can achieve that. Back to my professional life in 2009, to enhance my professional life, I decided to pursue an MBA degree on business. And I called one of my friends called Jahid and said that I want to get admitted the best university in the country. Oh, you want to get admitted that university? If you get chance, I will go on a donkey ride and celebrate in the city. What a humiliation. I call another colleague in my office and says, Roy, I want to be manager next year. You want to be manager next year? If you want to be manager, I'll go for suicide with a small banana tree and I will not die for sure. What a humiliation. And this humiliation made me frustrated, and frustration was rising until one day my father came to me and said, son, don't worry. Don't you think that your future, your success, your life, everything depends on you and all are in your hand, and you can make these things alive or dead? That day, I engraved these words of my father in my memory. Until today, I remember those words as my inspiration. And times goes by, I became the youngest manager of the company. I got admitted in the best university for my MBA degree, and I became internationally rated chess player. Do you think that everything came to me with a silver tray? Do you think? No. My father's words echoed in my mind every time. And I went many extra miles. I did hard work. I did everything. I went to mentor. I got trained. I did studied. And my determination, my commitment to my success, my life, took me next level. My friends, fellow Toastmasters, we live in a world full of struggle, full of failures. And those failures, you need to make it as a pillar of your journey. And you need to commit yourself and think that everything in your life, everything, your failure, your success, everything is on your hand. You can make it alive or dead. Toastmaster of the week.
Thank you, DTM Arshaduzzaman, for such a wonderful and lively speech. So with this, we come to the end of the prepared speech segment. Is everyone enjoying the event today, the meeting? Can I see some hands? Yes or no? All right.
Yes.
Now, awesome. So now to one of the most, in person, I really love this session. It's our table topic session right now. So this is really lively, and this is the first segment that I ever had the chance to participate in my Toastmasters life when I went to a meeting as a guest. And that's what, I'm like, yes, I need to be here. So for tonight, the table topic master is Toastmaster Faizuddin. He's currently the area director of Area B1, Division B, District 124. Before being appointed as an area director for the year of 2022 and 23, he served as the Vice President Education and President of Dhaka Toastmasters Club. In both instances, he led his club to the highest recognition of the district. So when we have such a, inspiring and really, it keeps you on your toes, this kind of a segment, we also need a table topic evaluator who is equally excited. Now, he is none other than DTM Samir Hamid Todi. He is inaugural district director of District 122P. His home club is Karachi Toastmasters Club. He's an entrepreneur by profession and has assisted in not only formation of D122 as a territorial council, but also he has assisted many clubs in forming. Now, ladies and gentlemen, DTM Talha has something to say.
Yes, apologies for interruption. Just wanted to check if all the speakers are qualified so that I could close the poll and we could save some time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Mr. Timer, are all the speakers, prepared speakers, qualified?
Yes, everybody got qualified.
Great. Now we officially got the green signal. So without further ado, I would like to give the stage to Toastmaster Faizuddin. But before that, I guess a screen just popped up in front of you. So just take a moment and vote for the best speaker of your choice. You get to choose only one speaker and then submit it. Now, Toastmaster Faizuddin, I hope you're here. The stage is all yours, and I believe our table topic evaluator is also here, listening to us very carefully.
Thank you very much, TMOD. Now, good evening, salam, namaskar. Across the subcontinent, we are participating for India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh for the first time. Very exciting event. Thank you very much for participating in this very, very spacious Toastmasters meeting. And it's an honor for me. It's a real honor for me to participate and act as a table topic master for this evening. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I feel table topic master, sometimes I feel that has a big responsibility to show up the events, because prepared speeches are somewhat, like boring, sometimes, not always. Sometimes they're very calm and quiet and so on and so forth. So it is the burden on the table topic master to really entertain the crowd. And I have that opportunity and honor to do that today. So thank you very much for letting me do that. Now, as far as the table topic is concerned, as you know, most of here at Toastmasters, for the benefit of the guests, I would like to tell you that you will be given 2 minutes on a random topic and you will be able to speak for that 2 minutes. But today I will do it very differently. Today I will do something like this. I'll give a story. I'll give you a story and you have to not continue, end the story. Now, before that, I would like to tell you where the idea has come from. Have you read this book, any one of you? Inferno from Dan Brown? Who has read it? Inferno, Dan Brown? Now, have you seen the movie from Tom Hanks? So please make some noise. You can open your microphone and say, have you seen the movie? Is there anyone unfortunate enough to both read the book and seen the movie. Is there anyone?
Yes. Yes, I am ashamed to admit, yes.
Unfortunate like me? The reason I say unfortunate, because there is a lot of difference between the movie and the book, right? In the movie, they have changed in different places. And the most important thing, they have changed the ending, right? And when I have just finished reading the book day before yesterday, I was very excited for the movie. And I started seeing the movie right then because I was expecting this must be a very good movie. And then I was disappointed just like anything because they have changed the story in different places. And most importantly, they have changed the end. And then I thought, end, does it have to be always the same? If you give a story to 5 different people or 6 different people or 10 different people with the same story, they will end in 10 different ways. And that's what I will do today in this table topic session. I will give you a story, very short story. And then you'll have to end the story within the allocated 2 minutes, right? So are you ready for this? Please make some noise.
Yes.
Please make some noise. Are you ready for it? So who is going to be our first table topic speaker today? India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, from anywhere. We are in one single platform. I think it's Toastmaster Jahid Hussain. You have raised your hands. So are you ready, sir?
Yes, let's go with it.
So yeah, story is very simple. It's a love story, very short love story. We all are lovers here. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, we love our movies. So Raj and Seema are 2 lovers. They want to get married and none of their families like it. So one day, Raj actually holds the hand of Seema and they started going and going. And they come to the intersection of a 4 crossroad of 4 roads. So straight, back, left and right, crossroad of intersection. And they arrived at the intersection and just in front of them, there is Raj's father standing. And when they look back, there is a local goon with his interest who also likes Shiva. So it's forward and backward, danger in both sides. Then in the left, you have the bus station. And if you go to the right, you can go back to your home and settle down. This is where they are, very precarious situation. Now you have to end the story from there. It doesn't have to be a sweet ending. It could be a sour ending or anything. Just go and end the story within 2 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I personally feel that our table topic speaker is getting very, very mesmerized with the idea of Bollywood nowadays. So yes, I mean, I do understand that. So what our hero and heroine actually did was they went back home. The reason was they were really educated and practical. So they actually gave it a thought that, okay, if I go in front, father might slap me. That won't be very nice. If I go at the back, chances are high, the goon might kill me. So why not just go back home and take some time and then start again? Now, this is where the pinch comes. Many a times we give up. We don't understand that sometimes to go 1 step forward, we might have to take 1 step backward. But our hero and heroine actually knew what to do. So they went back and then decided, okay, now let's do the right things to make sure that our parents are happy. So after about 6 months of crying and being very sad at home, when the parents thought, oh my God, my children are so sad, they eventually went back to their parents saying, you know what, I really want to be with this guy. And of course, the girl said, I really want to be with the guy. And obviously, when parents see that our children are not happy, they eventually agree to what they do. And while I narrate this story, I'm actually thinking that I have 2 daughters and what will happen to me when she'll come back saying, Dad, I'm really sad because you did not approve of the guy which I like. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much. That is one way of ending it. And I like Bollywood because I have picked up Bollywood because that is the common denominator across India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Thank you very much. That is one way of ending that story. Let's go for another way. Tia Mina, you have raised your hand. And you are from Pakistan or India?
India.
Okay, let's have the Indian version of it.
Same topic?
Exactly same topic. Okay. What we want to add that we have given a story and there will be 6 different people, and I think 6 different people will end this story in 6 different ways. That's the fun.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Table Topic Master Fayaz. How tough it is to be at the border of 2 countries, to love a man of another country, and to not seek approval from family of my country, told the heroine. And she held the hands of hero, looking forward and backward, right and left. They were tensed. The moment of sweat was just going down their eyebrows. They really didn't know what to do, but for sure, they wanted to take the path less traveled. They went left. They took up a bus and they went to form a life. Here, to not to run away from their family, to not to run away from 2 countries, but to build the bridge of family of 2 different countries. Because love is perennial. Love is perennial and borders cannot break love. And after they went, what did they do 20 years later? They were there with their kids. They were there with their grandma, grandpa. This was a time for them to express their perennial love to the families across 2 nations. At times and at circumstances, we cannot get back to the place where we were because we have taken a step. It's a step which is very hard. And at that times, at that moment of distress, it's okay to take the path less traveled. But don't forget that love is perennial and we have to build the bridge across countries, traversing all the borders, traversing all these egos, and live a happy life. Thank you, and over to you, Table Topic Master Fayaz.
Thank you very much after that practical step from Toastmaster Zahid Hussain DTM. Now that loving step from Toastmaster Mina. Love. Now we're going to witness, I think Toastmaster Elos, you have raised your hand for long?
Yes.
Would you like to end the story in another way, probably?
Okay, I'll try. Yeah. And here.
Go ahead.
And here.
Timer, please, Object Master, please spotlight all of us. Me, the Table Topic speaker, and also the timer. Please spotlight all of us, all 3 of us.
Can I start now? Give me reaction?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I start. And here goes both of the spouse or the husband and wife here. They found love in these 2 beautiful nations. They have been in love when they were in the elementary school. They found the love at the first sight at the canteen. And the canteen server there is also a good husband and wife. They taught the good lessons about being a great husband and great wife. The husband told that if you want to become a great husband, you should be the one that serve your family, to provide the food in the table, and to become a leader in the family. And for the wife, the canteen servant said it to the wife that to become a great wife, we should provide perennial love to our husband, to our children, and to the parents of both sides. And the canteen servant there is not only from one country, but both of the country. They have this canteen stall, and this canteen stall not only serve food, but also beverages. And by having this food and beverages together, they reminiscing the memory that the Canton servant told them, if you want to have this beautiful family, we should try our best to become a good servant, good provider, and be a leader in our family. And that's all. I end this story. Back to you, TTM Faiz.
Thank you very much. That's another way. You see, already you have got 3 different versions of ending that same story. Now I have got Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi. You raised your hands. Would you like to talk or end that particular story? Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi.
Yes, I would like, but I can't see the timer.
He's
I
here.
can't see.
I think TM Kundal is there.
Irfan, please follow my hand. I have some issues with my card.
I can see you.
Okay. So you're from Pakistan, right?
Yes, I'm from Pakistan. How would I would I know about your greed if you don't have the cards? Background or what?
So it could be 1, 2, 3, right? Irfan, Kundal.
Okay, with hand gesture. Okay.
2 for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and 3 for
done.
1, 2, 3.
Done.
Okay.
Yes,
So you're in the story. So we're ready for 4th version of ending of that particular love story.
Love stories are very common because we are living in subcontinent where love has a different meaning. So in this story, what happened when the boy and girl reached to that point of intersection, they had a choice to go right or left, but they had very little choice of going forward or backward. You know who the hero was? He was a working professional. And moreover, he was a Toastmaster. And then that boy said to the girl, don't you worry, I have been a Toastmaster. I have completed many of my projects. I have delivered 13, 14 speeches so far. Let me talk to the dad. You know, I'm a very good speaker. And so the boy went ahead to talk to the father. The girl was standing in the center of the roads, of crossing of the roads. She couldn't hear anything, but she could see the hand raising of the boy, the body language, the movement, the gestures. And then eventually the girl saw the father raise his hand, a slap on the boy's face. All Toastmaster practice were gone in the drain. The boy came back in the square and thought, what should I do? He said, I am a business manager. I have a good proposal. Went back to the goon and said, look, I want to do my job. Take the girl, settle some amount with me. The goon said, okay, I'll give you 100,000. No, too low. Make it 200,000. Eventually, they both settled on 150,000. The boy told the girl, look, that goon is not so bad. He wants to take you back home. Handed over the hand to the goon, said bye-bye, took the money, went home. Over to you, Toastmaster.
So the boy was a Toastmaster? That's what you were saying? And he was a businessman as well? You see, the human imagination. I have never imagined that that particular story could have ended in this way. Thank you very much. Who is going to be our 5th speaker? I think somebody from Bangladesh, 2 from India, 2 from Bangladesh, and 2 from Pakistan would be a nice one. So is there anybody from Bangladesh? Please speak up. Would like to end the story? Anybody from Bangladesh? I think Toastmaster Ramisa Naushin Rahman.
Hello.
Yeah, you're from Bangladesh, right?
Yes. One request. Could I have the story again, please? If
Okay. Raj and Siva lovers, they have just eloped from their homes and they are in the cross section of intersection. There are 4 roads. So in the front, they have seen their father, Raj's father, standing just like he'd like to kill Raj. And when they look back, they saw a goon, local goon, with his entourage would like to, because he also liked Seema. And to the left, there is a bus station, and to the right, the road back to their home. So end the story. So we had four speakers, four of them ended the story in 4 different ways. Now, yes, your turn.
Raj, if I come with you, what's going to happen? We'll be together forever, just the 2 of us, our kids. Think about it. We'll be in heaven. What will it cost me? Nothing. But my father, my home, my Toastmasters level 5. Love comes first. Please, let's do this. Don't leave me. I'm sorry, Raj. I can't do this because society has me in shackles. We can't be together. We don't belong together. We're too different. I can't be a fantast in this matter, Raj. I'm sorry. Maybe in another time, maybe in a more accepting world, this would have happened, but not in this world. I don't think so. I have to live for myself, Raj. I'm sorry. I can't do this. She walked away, tears in her eyes, wondering if she had made the right choice. Had she? Was it worth it, being the strong, independent woman who doesn't adhere to the needs of society and wants to lead her own life? Or was it wrong for her, or was it right for her to run away with him? You answer me, Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was another way. Now, I would like for the final one from India, 2 from Pakistan, 2 from Bangladesh, and 2 from India. Somebody from India, please respond. You have to end the story within 2 minutes, then we'll conclude this session. Is there anybody from India who would like to end the story? This is essentially a story I have stolen from a movie. Very close. DDLJ, you know, kind of story. Okay, anybody would like to end the story from India? If you're not, let me close the Smita Kotkar. Smita Kotkar. Please come up and end the story. Smita.
Good evening, everyone. Love. I've been hearing everyone speak about love for a very long time now. Is love always about getting together? Is love always about expressing and being in somebody else's arms? Can love also be expressed by staying away? Well, my dear friends, I'm sure you know the answer to that. We all, after all, belong to the same subcontinent, don't we? And here, listening to our family members takes precedence than following your heart. Well, my actors, the protagonists of the story, weren't any different. But what they did not know, or what others did not know, was a secret gadget that the hero had with him. A secret gadget that allowed the couple to meet when they wanted to. Well, facts are stranger than fiction, but sometimes things happen when you really, really want them. And here our story takes a different turn. So the parents are happy that the children are back. The parents are satisfied that the children have adhered to them. But at the same time, what they do not know is of the secret meetings that the children continue to have throughout their life. They stayed single. They listened to their parents. They listened to the other people in their country. because they cannot cross borders. But a secret gadget, a magical way to go to another land, another time, and be with the special person, be together and spend as much time as you want, and then come back and lead a normal life without having anybody else question your whereabouts. That comes from being independent. So don't forget to pick up a job. Don't forget to start earning so that you can take your own decisions while listening to your parents and while satisfying your family members. That's one lesson, and that's one love ending for all of you. Toastmaster.
Thank you very creative, I would say, very creative to end that particular story. Thank you very much. That's all. We have been running out of time. The issue was I used to read a lot of non-fiction books, but very recently I started reading fiction books like this. The issue is, you see, we have given the same story to 6 different people and they have ended the story in 6 different ways, very creative. And that's what we are doing in Toastmasters. We are firing up our imagination and then telling stories. We are firing up our imagination and telling stories. Let's keep firing up our imagination again and again, and then keep telling stories again and again. Thank you very much. Over to you, Chimodi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faiz Ahmed. It was really interesting session. So ladies and gentlemen, with this, we come to an end of our speech sessions. And I would like to hand over the floor to our general evaluator, who's not only eloquent, but also amiable. Ayan Pal, DTM. I tried to, mix and match words like you, but I couldn't.
Thank you so much, Kashfi Ahmed from Bangladesh. That was a wonderful session. It's now time to move on to the next section. There has been a lot of waters, a lot of rivers that have gone under the bridge, but it's now to cross them and see where we land beyond the rivers. I would like to welcome onto the digital podium Distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Helen Ghosh from India, to evaluate Distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kinsey from United States. Over to you, Jennifer Helen Ghosh, past District Director, District 41.
Thank you so very much, DTM Ayan Pal. I had a perennial fear when I was asked to evaluate DTM Matt. But then being a Toastmaster, I took up the challenge. In my opinion, a keynote speech sets the premise by sharing thoughts, experiences, and ideas to inspire and encourage and motivate the audience. So my evaluation will be based on 3 parameters. What did I see? What did I hear? And how did I feel? What did I see today? I saw a speech that inspired and connected with our audience. It was a simple speech on a very familiar topic, Toastmasters. It integrated our purpose and provided a direction, not exactly an unusual topic, as was the project objectives, but unusual indeed in the way DTM Matt Kinsey put across his message to keep the audiences engaged. Number 2, what did I hear? I heard many short stories. How evaluation is a gift in building self-confidence, how understanding comes through communication, and through communication, we find peace, as said by none other than Dr. Smedley, how this world is in constant conflict due to lack of communication and understanding, and how a simple namaste displayed how we can become inclusive by aligning our values to theirs. Here is where I saw our speaker touch on the core values of Toastmasters International without actually iterating them. Finally, number 3, how did I feel? I felt inspired, blessed, and grateful to be evaluating this speech. Firstly, I had overcome my perennial fear. And secondly, it was a simple, relatable speech which connected beautifully with an unfamiliar audience. Feedback, if any, would be, ye dil mange more. Format, this is My Heart Wanted More. A bit longer would have been delightful to my ear. And the ending too seemed to be a tad bit abrupt. You may have liked to re-emphasize your message about how communication can break barriers and bring about a change. In conclusion, I would like to say the speaker met his project objectives and won over my heart too. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator, DTM Ayan Pal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Helen Ghosh. I thought that was a very comprehensive evaluation. My only feedback to you, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer, would be if you had also talked about how Matt handled the questions, it would have been that perfect evaluation that would have won over everyone. Now, coming to you, Matt, I thought it was a very interesting speech, very, very interesting, very straight from the heart. I have two recommendations for you, Matt. The first recommendation is when you were talking about the people, the distinguished Toastmasters who had become heads of states and done so many other things, if you would have taken their names or mentioned their countries, we would have been able to remember the names and relate to it even more. And secondly, I feel the way you were handling your questions was beautiful, but you would have set the context and told us that the question should have been from the speech, it would have been even better. But that having been said, you did a fantastic job of handling questions with ease, and you are never ever feeling at anything but otherwise. So Matt, it was a very interesting speech, very inspirational, and I'm sure we learned a lot from it. Can we have a huge round of applause for the speaker and the evaluator, please? I would now like to call on to the digital podium our second evaluator from Pakistan, Imran Rana, to evaluate a second speaker from India, Kamal Banik.
Please confirm I'm audible and visible.
You are, Imran. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Kamal Banik delivered such a wonderful and thought-provoking speech with a beautiful message. Take the first step and break the shackles of fear. You started with a personal story about the leadership training session off, and you told us an interesting situation about pushing each other to become the leader. I must say, you are a good storyteller, and I can relate it to myself because I never stepped in for any leadership role. I was kept on pushing. So kudos on that. You added some crisp humor while pushing each other for becoming a leader. It was quite humorous, and I loved it. And you highlighted a very important question. Why don't we take the first step when we were given leadership role? You highlighted one of your fear about failure and uses amazing and inspiring words like the walls of the fear of my failure, take the first step, become an angel for others. They were quite angelic. I'm glad you took the first step and realized it's not that big deal. About your body language, especially your hand gestures were perfectly aligned with your speech, and you delivered your speech with standing position. Kudos on that. However, if you could use the plain background, then everyone will focus on you and not the other way. And that would create a good impact. Throughout your speech, your vocals were monotone. Maybe you could act out the situation when you were describing that particular situation when everyone keep pushing each other for the leadership role. And in that situation, you could have used some good vocal variety. That would also create an impact on your speech. Your message was quite inspiring, like breaking the walls of fears and take the first step. However, I felt that it was abrupt. It was ended up abruptly. Maybe you could have summarized more, as if I'm correct, that you ended up the speech on green. So you have a minute or half a minute. Maybe you could have add some more on that to add value to your speech. Overall, I loved your speech. It was quite inspiring and thought-provoking, and I love the way you brought the speech title. That was quite wonderful. You met all the purpose of the speech, a purpose of taking the first step and conquer your fear. Just add vocal variety and act out the situation, plus add more conclusion to the concluding part. I can guarantee that this speech could be a winning speech. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. And we have a round of applause for the evaluation. All right, let me start off with Imran. I think, Imran, there was a very interesting evaluation that you had of the speech in particular, but if you could have also told us a little bit more about how the objectives were met, which objective was met and which objective was not met. Also, when you were taking examples, you said that it was an abrupt conclusion. So why was it abrupt? How could the conclusion be better? Or when you talked about body language, what could have been done? They push me for a leadership role. Specific examples makes it better and more relevant. So let's also be a little aware that sometimes technology is not in our hands and we might not be able to use digital backgrounds. And it is usually suggested we do not use digital backgrounds. So being able to tell speakers about things that are in their control might be, I feel, a safer evaluation techniques than telling them about things that might not be in their control. For example, the place from where they're delivering a speech. Apart from that, Imran, you were very comprehensive. You were very pointed about what you noticed and you delivered the evaluation in an almost flawless manner. And for that, I would like to applaud you. Can we have a round of applause for Imran Rana? Thank you so much. When it comes to Kamal, I think Kamal, your speech was a very interesting speech, but I felt you could have used the digital podium a little bit more. Of course, our evaluator Imran has already hinted at that, but Kamal, if you would have taken a little bit more effort in using the place you got, you could have showcased more body language by moving or just saying, even if you're sitting, you could have said something like, I was there and then I was pushed to somewhere else. Simple steps, you don't have to go and dance over there, but simple steps could have helped you use body language. And secondly, I know it's difficult, but if you can just quickly also look at ensuring that there are no technical glitches and you can take care of technical failures and come back very quickly. I thought you got a little rattled when you got disconnected, but that was not required because you were completely in control. So just these two things, and I'm sure you will do an even better job whenever you're appearing on stage next. Can we have a huge round of applause for Kamal Banik? And now I would like to invite onto the digital podium our third evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami from Bangladesh, to evaluate Distinguished Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju from India.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and to Distinguished Toastmaster Raju. If somebody asked me to answer your, total speech, to talk about that, if I want to explain it in one simple sentence, you just nailed it. If I talk about your speech details, I love the way you have started your speech today. In the beginning, the way you engaged, you made sure that your audience got engaged with you. By asking this question, raise your hands if you really think if you are free. So the moment you asked questions, I saw that you were waiting for the responses from the audience. And I found the responses from the audience that you made sure that your audience are connected with you, which is the purpose of today's speech. Second thing I love from your speech, your body language, the way you are using your right hands, both hands, and wholehearted expressions, eye contacts. You are coming forward, backward, you are moving right, left. The way you use this virtual stage in a way that you are speaking from a physical stage. So I loved it. And through your body language, eye contact, everything, you made sure that you are connecting with your audience, because the way you're expressing through words, not only through words, rather with your expressions and body language as well. Another thing, the role play. The moment you just uttered two names, Sriram and Raghu, you did not limit yourself by uttering and explaining their roles. Rather, you switched yourself from one position to another position, and you played their role with different tone of your voice. Once you play this kind of roles, with different tones and voice, and you act over there with this particular role, ultimately you make sure that you are connected with the audience, and you successfully did it today. Meaningful pauses. I love the way that you let your audience today to digest what you wanted to explain. And we were able to follow your speech. We were with the, flow what you were speaking about. Simply amazing. And what I loved most, series of happenings. Stories. So you all know that once you share stories connect with the audience. And the major objective of your speech today was to connect, engage with your audience. And the moment you share the series of stories, happenings from lives, it means that you were connecting with your audience, whatever you are narrating today. With these good things, if I want to share certain things that to take your speech to next level, you were speaking from your laptop, you were using a virtual background. So I was a bit struggling actually to follow you when you use virtual background, because the blur of your body language kind of distracting me. Next time when you give online speech, I would request you to go directly with a virtual background. Second thing, the purpose of your speech was to actually create that engagement with unknown audience today. And you got the, right platform, because you got the people from outside of India, from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from USA. So you got that right audience. So ultimately the context of the content I felt was more familiar with my friends from India. So what about others? Next time when you, if we look at the purpose of the content, speech today, ultimately to deliver a speech with unknown audience so that you can make sure that you are connecting this unknown audience. So next time, this can prepare a content which is familiar to all, not a particular group of people. So that content part and your, virtual background, if you can work on this, the good thing you to have, I found from your speech, which made sure that you connected with your audience, the beginning engagement, body language, the wholehearted expressions, facial expressions you had, role play we made today, meaningful pauses you had, and series of stories. You can take your speech to the next level. Over to you, Mr. General Ibadat.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami. Can we have a round of applause for him? Jamal, I thought the way you evaluated was Kamal, but the river was definitely overflowing today, I guess. We will get to know later. But I thought it was a very comprehensive evaluation. I thought the commendations were a little too much. You could have ended them a little earlier to give the recommendations, because there were lots of things that you were saying. The very important thing, Jamal, would be to remember to keep the main thing the main thing. So if you would have ensured that you spoke about the important points first, instead of having a generic evaluation, your evaluation would have been even more memorable. But you took the route you took, and it is completely your choice. And I think you did an exemplary evaluation when it comes to pointing out everything. But it's not the ability to notice everything, but to remember that I've noticed these things, and I'm going to just talk about these things that makes for a better evaluation. Because sometimes if it's an evaluation that has a lot of points, we may not be able to process all of it, because attention deficit disorder in a lot of us. So just keep that in mind, Jamal, but otherwise a very thorough, very comprehensive evaluation, which, looking at the fact that you're a doctor in the making, is just about right. Can we have a huge round of applause for Jamaluddin Jami from Bangladesh, distinguished Toastmaster. And now for distinguished Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju. Raju, that was a very brave speech, which started off, are we really free? I just thought, as Jamal has rightly pointed out, you could have probably set the context a little bit more. Are you talking about freedom from the perspective of your nationality? That is an Indian. Are we really free as people who follow a religion? So there were these small questions that I was not sure of as you were answering, but that having been said, the way you delivered your speech was exceptional. The way you had structured your content was very, very good. If you would have just utilize that opportunity to connect more with the audience, which I think you are on the right track to do. For example, you very effectively said, can I not be on spotlight mode so that I can see all the boxes? But after you saw the people in the boxes, if you could have just acknowledged their reactions, it would have looked as if you were able to connect to people more. So that back and forth was what I thought could have been utilized and was an opportunity missed. But otherwise, Raghunatha Raju, it was a great speech that I thoroughly enjoyed listening to and very, very memorable. Can we have a huge round of applause for distinguished Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju from India? And now for our last and final evaluator, Dr. Distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh from India, to evaluate Toastmaster Mohammad Asaduzzaman from Bangladesh. Over to you, Gayatri.
Author of Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I built my life." And your speech, dear speaker, was built on the foundation of hitting rock bottom in 2009. I loved the way you referred to those events in 2009, how they impacted you. And then you, during your narration, took us in the flashback when you spoke about your times as a child. And then you once again came back to 2009. Your project required you to talk about your thoughts, your feelings, observe them. And in your speech, you effectively shared how your thoughts were formed over a period of time, how they progressed. You also shared about the feelings and how you felt when the people you referred to gave you negative comments. In part, that project purpose was met. The second part of this project purpose was to talk about and understand how other people are impacted with your responses. While you effectively told us about how their responses affected you, we would have loved to hear how your responses affected them, wherein you tell them something, their reaction probably demoralized you, and how you responded to their reaction and how your reaction had an impact on them. This project also required the speaker to become a little vulnerable in the process. While our speaker spoke about the times of 2009 and before that, the project required the speaker to effectively maintain a journal for a minimum of 2 weeks and observe the feelings and the thoughts he was experiencing. The project also required the speaker to make a note of the successes and how the efforts were made for it. And the speaker was also expected to talk about the 3 things that the speaker is grateful for. While it would have been a really interesting to know about the journey of that journal, because it would have helped the speaker convey the process. Accepting the negative feelings is difficult. There is a process involved, which starts probably from denial and then it arrives at acceptance. It would have been really very interesting to know how the speaker traveled from that denial to acceptance of those negative thoughts, and it would have provided a value addition to all the listeners in this room. All in all, I would say it was a wonderful speech. I loved the dialogue. I loved the body language that the speaker projected during the speech. As far as the speech objectives are concerned, I believe that if speaker made himself a little more vulnerable and threw a little bit of light about the journal that he maintained and shared a few aspects of how he brought out the positive out of the negatives that he accepted, it would give a really strong message and inspiration and motivation to the listeners. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh. I thought that was a very apt evaluation that completely highlighted what was missing in terms of not being able to meet the project objectives. But in a speech like that, where you feel that the project objectives have not been met, you do not need to mention it again and again. You can just kind of shorten it and say that, these are some of the things that it was missed, because it was a very detailed report in terms of what was missed. And it could have been also about what was achieved. So the way you were delivering this evaluation could have been slightly more tapered to make the speaker not shut down to what you were saying. But otherwise, in terms of noticing the things that you did, I think it was exceptional. You did an exceptional job in very aptly highlighting what was missing in terms of the speech not meeting its objectives as well as it could have. So for that, Gayatri, I believe you've done a brilliant job. And can we have a huge round of applause for Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh, distinguished Toastmaster. And now for you, Mohammad Asaduzaman, I thought that was a very entertaining speech. If this was a speech contest, you would probably have gone to the next round because it was a very, very good speech. But this is not a speech contest. This is not a competition. It's about you maintaining a journal and going through the process of seeing how you affect others and how affect you. And I think this evaluation is the perfect example of you maintaining a journal and then delivering a speech about how this was, because your expressions seem more in line with how your speech should have been now than when you were delivering the speech before. So even though it was a great speech, I thought in terms of meeting the objectives, it was a wonderful opportunity that you missed. It could have been turned into this beautiful experience, but I believe you talked about your experiences when you were definitely not maintaining a journal. So it has to be, you probably might want to relook at the Pathways project to re-examine how you can handle it in a different manner. But definitely you know what you're doing. It's just that you have to be a little more aware of how to narrate that particular story. To put it in a better word, it was an excellent answer to a different question, not the question we were asking. That having been said, the way you delivered the speech, the alacrity that you brought into the forum, the beautiful humor that you had, your body language, your voice modulation, all of that was excellent. If only you had re-examined the objectives, this would have been the perfect speech. Then again, we all enjoyed it, and that is what matters. So thank you so much. And that are the speakers and the evaluators. I would now like to very quickly ask Toastmaster Kondala Rao from India to tell us about the timings of the 4 evaluators. Can't hear you.
Yes. DTM Jennifer, 2 minutes 48 seconds. Toastmaster Imran Rana, 3 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Jamal Uddin Jame, 4 minutes 30 seconds. DTM Gayatri Deshmukh, 3 minutes 28 seconds. 3 evaluator got qualified, and except Jamal, rest of the evaluator got qualified for voting.
So Jamal, distinguished Toastmaster Jamaluddin Jami, as I said, was an overflowing river. That's okay, Jamal, it happens to all of us, but your evaluation was Kamal. Can we have a round of applause for our timer? Very well done. And I don't know what happened, why the virtual background was not working, why you did not have timer cards, but what I really liked is you did not stop Mr. Rao, and you had 1, 2, 3. But if you could have come a little bit more prepared with timer cards or with backgrounds that change, I think the speakers or the evaluators would have been more in line with what they needed to do. But great effort anyway. Can we have a round of applause for our timer from India, Mr. Rao? Next up is Toastmaster Aniruddha Gorai from India for the R Counters report. Aniruddha, can we have the R Counters report, please?
Certainly. So today's meeting was actually a shame for me as an accountant, because I did not have much to record anyway. The meeting went almost flawlessly, but still there were very slight hit and misses. So I'll be giving you a report of those. Starting off with the SA, Toastmaster Shruti. She was extremely flawless. There was no mistake on her part. Toastmaster Mrinal as well, no mistake. DTM Tazabin Hamid, there was only one repetition. Toastmaster Kashfi Ahmed, sorry, 4 times and nothing else. The general evaluator, DTM Ayanpal, only 1 and nothing else. Toastmaster Muhammad Musa, 2 times or 1 time. Toastmaster Khandekar Mohammed, only one wrong pause and nothing else. Toastmaster Kondaga, one times, one time. Myself, Toastmaster Aniruddha, one time and one time, and a few apart, apart from those, a few and which are currently ongoing. So please pardon those. DTM Jennifer Helen Ghosh, only one arm. DTM Matt Kinsey, he was flawless as usual. Toastmaster Imran Rana, three 2 arms and 3 repetitions. Toastmaster Kamal Banik, 2 DTM Jamaluddin Jemi, 1 1 arm and 1 long pause. DTM Raghunatha Raju, nothing. DTM Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh, flawless. TM Ashaduzzaman, flawless. TTM Faiz Ahmed, 1 1 arm and nothing else. Muhammad Zahid Hossain, flawless again. Toastmaster Meena, flawless. Toastmaster Elias, 2 1 arm. Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi, flawless. Toastmaster Ramisha Nausain, flawless. Toastmaster Smita Kotkar, 1 arm. That's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aniruddha. That was a very comprehensive report. My only suggestion is if you can just make it a little quick, like if someone is flawless, just say, these people were flawless and the ones who did that, so we can remember it better. But can we have a round of applause for Aniruddha Gorai? And because we're running a little late and I would not want anyone to leave, I'm going to take a slight exception and call onto the digital podium the table topic evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Samir Hamid Dodi, past district director, in fact, inaugural district director from Pakistan.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. The table topics are very interesting. A love story with different options. The first speaker was Toastmaster Zahid Hussain. He made a joke about the table topic master getting mesmerized by Bollywood, which made everybody smile. He had nice hand gestures and eye contact, and he gave the option of waiting for 6 months and then being so miserable that the parents agree to the marriage. And at the end, he mentioned that he had 2 daughters. That was a moment of self-reflection. And also, I think perhaps for many others, because I too have daughters, children. So there you have it. Then we had Toastmaster Meena, same topic. Toastmaster Meena, you had very nice greetings. And you spoke about what it is to love a man. You had fantastic enunciation, very clear, very wonderful voice and flow of words. And your option was that they took a bus and they built a bridge with a marriage. You had some nice hand gestures, but your frame was slightly, I think, smaller, so I could see the bottom of the screen. But perhaps you could have higher hand gestures to add more impact or have a bigger frame. And I must say that you have a lovely smile. You were so relaxed and you were smiling throughout your topic that really, got to the audience. Toastmaster Ilos, you jumped in without greeting the Toastmasters, and you spoke about 2 beautiful nations and love at first sight, and you gave the analogy of this man and his wife in a canteen and what it is to be a husband, a wife. Your hand gestures were good, and your eye contact was also quite nice. Then we had Toastmaster Imran Farooqi. Toastmaster Imran, you also jumped in without greeting the Toastmasters. You stated from in the beginning that love stories are common in the subcontinent. It's part of a culture. Very nice. You got everybody there. And then you made the joke, or you made the whole story of the hero is a working professional and a Toastmaster. So yeah, everybody was nodding. Me too. And then you spoke about, how the Toastmaster tried to talk to the father, and you made the joke like, slap tuss. You made the hand gesture and the, verbal nice of a tuss slap. And it was an unexpected ending which, you know, also got to the table topic master. Your voice pitch was good and you have a sense of humor. Then we had Toastmaster Ramisa. Toastmaster Ramisa, you also jumped in without a grading, but I must say it was a fully female perspective. Raju, if I come with you and that we don't belong together, it was a filmy dialogue. I mean, emotional. All the emotions were in your voice. Your voice captivated me, the flow of words. And in the end, you said, well, you answer me that what option to take. I think perhaps if you had a bigger frame and maybe you could have used some hand gestures like, oh, Raju, or something or the other, you know, so that that would have added a little bit more impact to your speech. But wonderful speech. I love the flow of words and the dialogue. Beautiful. Then we had Toastmaster Samita. She jumped in and said, well, good evening, everyone. And she took the traditional choice that, okay, they listen to the family. And then she took a totally unexpected turn, very science fiction fantasy, by having the special gadget. So while the parents think that the children are with them, but they sometimes go to another land. So that was interesting. I loved it. I loved it. And at the end, a practical message. If you want to get things done, make sure you have financial independence. So a mix of fantasy, reality, and very practical advice. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Evaluator. Can we have a huge round of applause for distinguished Toastmaster Sameer Dori? Sameer, I thought this was the perfect sync when it comes to your commendations and recommendations, and I'm sure all the table topic masters, table topic speakers would rethink. It was very, very well done. I've got no commendations or recommendations for you. I do have a commendation and recommendation for all the speakers. I think some of you got it very easy. You will understand when I come to the evaluation of the table topic master a little later, sorry. But for now, can we have a huge round of applause for Sameer Dori? And on behalf of Aniruddha Gorai, Sameer, you said, you know, thrice. Now I'm going to go to our grammarian, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid from Pakistan, past district director as well. Brother, over to you for the report of the grammarian.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible.
You are audible, though not visible. Go ahead.
All right, all right. Trust me, you're better that way. So, today, as expected, there were precious few grammatical errors to report, at least as per my limited understanding. Everybody was at the top of their games. So what I did was highlight some of the good usages, and there were more than enough. For example, our journal evaluator said, and I always enjoy when he says this, what was once India, then became Pakistan, and then became Bangladesh. Absolutely beautifully done. You said pious place, physical as well as virtual. What is grammar without words? Makes us say, wow, and then makes us go, how? that is incredible. Then our speaker used Macho Man. If I had 7 minutes to talk to the world, what would I say to them? This is like a summation of what every speech should be. Absolutely fantastic. Then don't worry, just take the first step and things will fall into place. This is absolutely fantastic sentence. The wall was made of my fear of failure and insecurities. How vivid is that? Perfectly done. It looked really high. Be the angel to them. Invisible shackles, my fellow freedom fighters. And, you know, usually freedom fighter is a term that puts us all on alert. But in this case, it all brought us together. Beautifully used. And then trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing. Poetically done. And finally turns all my negative into positives. And there was plenty more in evaluations also. But in the interest of time, I will just limit my report to here and hand over the charge back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grammarian. Can we have a huge round of applause for distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid? I've got 2 recommendations for you. First of all, the way you noticed everything was brilliant, and I think you've been multitasking and doing a brilliant job. So great job there. The first recommendation that I have for you, that was a commendation, sorry. The first recommendation is, though I love the fact that you took some examples of names that so-and-so person said this, it's not absolutely required. You may choose to not take any names when you're having and just make it a generic report, and it'll be fun to try to guess who is saying what. Secondly, in today's meeting, I found quite a few grammatical mistakes in terms of pronunciations. There were a few pronunciations which was beyond the mother tongue influence that we could have done. If you could have lightly talked about some of them, then I'm sure all of our speakers in this beautiful opportunity of sharing the subcontinent would have learned about our shared mistakes as well. So that was an opportunity which I believe you decided to not pursue. Completely fine. But I thought whatever you did pursue, which was that beautiful list of commendations, really made the river flow and how. Can we have a huge round of applause for our grammarian once again? And now I would like to invite onto the digital podium our word master, Toastmaster Mohammad Musa from Pakistan. Toastmaster Musa, are you there? Yeah, there you are. Can't hear. Hello. All right. So Musa, if you can hear us, if you're finding it difficult, if you can paste it in the chat also, it would be great.
Hello.
Hi, hello. This is Anpal, Distinguished Toastmaster, generally evaluated from India.
Maybe I have some.
Toastmaster Musa, if you can hear me, if you can post it in the chat window also, it'll be great. We are not able to hear you clearly. At least I'm not able to. I don't know about the others. Yes, it's slightly better. Please go on. As a backup, please also paste it in the chat window.
Okay, I will paste. But I have some internet connection issues. That's why my video is not visible. Okay.
That's okay, Musa. You continue.
My report for the word as a word master. In prepared speeches, there was no use of the word of the day. But in the table topic session, there was two speakers who used the word. One was Toastmaster Minos. She used twice, and Toastmaster Ilos, he used one time. In evaluation session, only one speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer, used 2 times as a word of the day. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Musa, for that evaluation. And I know you're having a lot of network connectivities. It's fine. Sometimes there are dams in rivers and they do not flow as we expect them to, which is completely fine. But despite the internet connectivity, you tried your best to notice everything, and that's highly commendable. Would just like to add that the general evaluator, I believe, had also used the word of the day, but maybe you missed it. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Musa from Pakistan? And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have from Bangladesh, the reigning division director, Toastmaster Zaman Hussain, who has been playing the role of the active listener. Let's have him play the role here with us on stage. We welcome him to join us. Zaman, where are you? Please join us, brother. Yes, I can see you raising your hands.
Yes, distinguished Toastmaster Anpal, just I was checking whether you are eager to hear, or that is listening. You have the eager to listen. Yes, it is understood. Everyone was trying to listen. I was also listening. And for you, I have just noted some questions for you just to check whether you are listening to our speakers. And of course, there is no way, as because international president is there. So referring to international president, I would like to ask our international president, when he was delivering his speech, he was referring a quotation. The quotation was, understanding comes through communication. And this quotation was from whom? Is there anyone who can tell this?
Ralph Smedley.
Ralph Smedley.
That's great. That's great. And next question is...
Just a moment, Zaman. I feel 2 people got it right. distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Helen Ghosh, as well as Toastmaster Meenu. So just acknowledge that as well. Continue.
Okay, thank you for your advice. So there were questions to our international president. How many questions were there?
7.
38.
No. There were 5 questions. Thank you. To international president after his speech. And there was one important question. One important question was to know, to international president, how can we improve our evaluation? How can we improve our evaluation? What was the answer?
By getting evaluated by others.
Just I think Toastmaster Meena, you started talking first. You can tell.
By getting evaluated by others as well in a meeting.
But before that, he uttered one word 3 times.
Practice.
Great, Toastmaster Jennifer. He was telling practice, and practice, plus evaluate your evaluation. Thank you. And distinguished Toastmaster Raju, he told that he joined in Toastmaster, but in which year? Could you please share?
2007.
Excellent.
I think that was Rajiv Roy, right?
Yes. Yes, that's great. And from one of our prepared speaker, one person became international rated chess player. Who was that speaker?
Toastmaster Asaduzzaman.
Asaduzzaman.
Wow, that's great. And one person was talking very nicely about love story. And who talked on that, the love story, during the table topic session?
Irfan.
Excellent. Irfan Farooqi. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I understood that it was not Zaman Hussain was listening actively. I believe we all were listening actively in today's meeting. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator Ayanpal, distinguished Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zaman Hussain. I thought that was a very, very interesting way. I loved the questions you had. Very nice questions. And obviously, you were also an active listener. My only suggestion, which I also told you at the beginning, is just maybe to acknowledge or just say, okay, raise your hands first so that 2 people do not speak at the same time. But otherwise, everything else was done in a very good manner. Can we have a huge round of applause for our active listener? And now for the final role player, who has also been a very active listener. It's now time to have Toastmaster Meena from India join us on the virtual stage as the Wow Finder. Meena, over to you as the Wow Finder.
Thank you, DTM Ayan. 20th November 2022, I wrote on the corner of my diary, the river of life. 3 countries, 3 borders being united by Toastmasters meeting. Karachi Toastmasters Club, Globetrotters Toastmasters Club, and Dhaka Toastmasters Club. The history of a kind, happening for the very first time, 20th November 2022. As I write, the songs and poetry were filled in the air by SAA and the presiding officer. To add to that, the inquisitive audience engagement etched perennial memories with us. This was by the president of Toastmasters International, Matt Kinsey. And we had 3 daring speakers coming forward to challenge themselves and to give the speeches in this very meeting. The meeting of 3 Toastmasters Club coming together. Hip hip hooray to the audacity and special mention to Toastmaster Kamal, who conquered his fear being a newbie. To add to that, we had a beautiful storyline. That storyline was started by TTM Faize Ahmed, and it was beautifully etched and woven by 6 amazing table topic speakers. One told, being Toastmasters can help us to conquer the difficult circumstances by being persuasive. One told, uplifting love is perennial. One suggested, take a step back, it is okay before you take a step forward, be logical. And another brought in beautiful emotions of humankind by enacting them out. As these memories were etched, let me remind you, there were people who helped us to become more and more better. It could be the GE, DTM Ayanpal, and the Tiger team, making all the efforts behind this beautiful meeting. As river of time flows, let these perennial memories be etched in all of your hearts. And as the river flows, keep spreading these beautiful memories. And let's do hope if we can make it in person. Signing off for one last time, your Wow Finder, 20th November 2022. Over to you, DTM Ayanpal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meena. Can we have a huge round of applause for Meena? So Meena, I found the way you tackled the Wow Finder role very unique. You had like a summary. It was more of a secretary's report of what exactly happened, which was very interesting. It was like a speech. However, if you could have just told us that these were the wows, we would have known what was the best of the best. I know there were a lot of great moments, but in anything, like anywhere in the world, we only look at the best of the best. So if you could have just told us the top 3 wow factors today, that this person did this was wow, this person did that was wow, whatever. It could have been the table topic speaker, it could have been the speaker, it could have been one of the role players. We would have said wow, because that's the point, wow, W-O-W, 3 letters, 3 examples. That would have been even better. But you chose to make everything about the meeting wow. And for that, I say wow to you. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Wow Finder? And now very quickly to those who have not yet evaluated, let's start off with the Sergeant at Arms, Shruti Srivastava, also the area director of one of the clubs that organized this meeting. Shruti from India started off with a song, and boy, were we on a song today. It's a very difficult song, a poetic way of starting. That was very, very well done, Shruti. And I think you aced it. Can we have a huge round of applause for Shruti Srivastava? Just one suggestion. I don't know if you knew that one of the speakers were going to speak about religion, but if you could have mentioned that we do not speak about sex, politics, and religion in a derogatory manner, things might have been a little more settled today. But that having been said, Shruti, you did a great job. Then came our presiding officer. We had 2 presiding officers. One, of course, Mrinal, who has been planning this for two months, I believe, or 3 months. A great job in organizing this, Mrinal. But I just thought you could have spoken a little bit more about why you did, why is it called the River of Life? Why did you choose this theme? Anything a little bit more would have made it even more memorable. That having been said, for putting in all the efforts and not really wanting to be in the limelight, I think you show exemplary leadership as well. So can we have a round of applause for Mrinal Ghosh, one of the opening presidents? And then came our presiding officer, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid from Pakistan. What a presiding role. I absolutely loved that, Talha, from the choice of content that you used, from the examples that you used, from the beautiful song that you sang, from the way you set the context. You were absolutely brilliant. I think I have rarely heard a presiding officer deliver such an impeccable opening. And today I thought distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid had scored all the goals, had hit all the sixes when it came to being a presiding officer. Amazing job. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, please? We then had our Toastmaster of the Day and the Table Topic Master, 2 very important roles. I'm going to start off with the Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Faizuddin. Faiz, you were very intelligent. You wanted to be very popular today, I felt. So you had the same story and you caught Mohammad Zahid Hussain, Zahid Bhai, because he is our CGD and he's also your mentor, I believe. And you got him to talk about Raj and Simran. And after he had delivered that speech and everyone had heard it, you told everyone else to talk about the same thing. And I don't know, audiences, if you noticed, as we kept moving towards the end, there was a marked difference. For example, Ramisa Nausin Rahman had a very different take on it. Spita had a very different take on it. I'm not saying that they got it easy, but maybe it was not an equal opportunity for all, because some people had not only heard the topic, they had also heard people speaking on the topic. That can go both ways. It can get more difficult, it can get more easy. So I thought that is something you could have taken note of, but otherwise, I believe you did a great job. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Table Topic Master? Just make it a little more equal the next time, all right? I know it's difficult. Nothing is equal in these 3 countries. We're all different people, but we all began together and we need to get equal opportunities. And now finally for our Toastmaster of the day, we were initially supposed to have 2 Toastmasters, but just like what happened to me 2 days back, I was not sure I would be able to speak in this meeting because I lost my voice and I had to stop and I had to pause. But unfortunately, Rabia Tabassum Khan from Pakistan, distinguished Toastmaster Rabia, who have had the opportunity of listening to in the past, unfortunately wasn't able to speak. But I love the fact that despite not being well, you came onto the podium, you excused yourself and you said, I'm really sorry, but my voice has given away. That is exemplary leadership. Can we have a huge round of applause for distinguished Toastmaster Rabia Tabassum Khan? And now for Toastmaster Kafshi Ahmed from Bangladesh. What an amazing Toastmaster of the day. You made it so seamless, so beautiful, so nuanced. I thought that was an amazing job that you have done. I've had the opportunity of seeing you perform in person, and I know you're a new Toastmaster, but that has not stopped you from going ahead and forging ahead. And today was the perfect example of what you can do when given the right opportunities. Kafshi Ahmed, I thought you were fantastic today. My only recommendation to you is, I think there were 3 instances of you getting a name wrong and a pronunciation wrong. So if you can be a little bit more careful about that. Even I made that mistake. I got one of the role players wrong initially. Happens to the best of us. But if you can be a little bit more careful and try to ask people what is the pronunciation of their name, I think it'll be even better. There were 3 instances when you got wrong. I will have a separate discussion with you. But the way you handled this topic, the way you brought the river to life, the way you made it flow across the 3 countries, the way you ensured that the river is enriched with life, I'm sure is going to ensure that within all of us, in terms of our memories, there is absolutely no strife. And for doing this job so beautifully, I'm going to give you a high 5. So well done, well done, well done. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day?
And let me say one thing. You said Toastmasters Day was using wrong names, but unfortunately, you yourself has used the Toastmasters name in a wrong way. She's not Kafshi, she is Kashfi.
Yes, I said even I have made that mistake. Thank you, Irfan. Even I have made that mistake. I have mentioned that as well. And I keep getting her name slightly different pronounced. But yes, that is something we both talk about as well. So we just interacted 1 week back. But yes, we have to be careful about it. Even I have made that mistake, as I pointed out. And we just have to take that as a note. And thank you so much, Irfan, for reminding us about that. But for now, I would like to hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day, Kashfi Ahmed from Bangladesh.
Thank you so much, our General Evaluator, Ayanpal, DTM. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to hold you back more. So I would like to start with a quote of Margaret Mead. She said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." The perennial bonding of this Toastmasters fraternity will definitely flow like the river of life and will change the community and society for better. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished leaders and fellow Toastmasters, with this, we come to the end of this wonderful and momentous Tri-Nation Joint Meeting, which was initiated and hosted by Karachi Toastmasters Club, Globetrotters Toastmasters Club, and Dhaka Toastmasters Club. Our heartfelt gratitude to each and every participant of this meeting for making this event such a memorable one. Now I would like to hand over this virtual floor to our presiding officer, DTM Talha bin Hamid, for ballot result and concluding remarks. And good night and Shabba Khair from myself, Kashfi Ahmed. Stay safe. DTM Talha bin Hamid Bhai, the floor is all yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Actually, I kind of lost the controls on my phone. They disappeared on me. So is really playing a havoc right now. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Kashfi, for that wonderful job. I would first like to recognize and maybe invite for a brief comment for the president of Dhaka Toastmasters Club. Is he in the meeting?
Yes, I am.
Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. The river is still flows, and as the meeting started, that the river that started in the Tibet, in the mountain, and then it flowed past towards the Pakistan, then India, then Bangladesh. It continues to flow. And what it reminds, what it teaches us, it teaches the thing that the river flows with the people, the land gets nourished by the water. At the same time, what happens? It reminds us one thing is that every moment make the change, because you know that everything changes except the change, because everything changes. You cannot put your legs in the same point in a water. So that reminds that today's meeting, that reminded us that consciously, if not, but subconsciously, the change happened, because it was a wonderful experience that filtered through our mind into our subconscious mind, and that changes started into being. So with that few words, I would like to hand it over to distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and thank you very much, everyone. Distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Paul, distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Helen Ghosh, and all the distinguished Toastmasters. You have made this effort a success. Thank you very much, and gratitude to all. All. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. It was an honor hosting both the clubs. And let me just highlight here that the whole initiative, as far as I know, it is from President of Globetrotters Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Mrinal, whereas the theme came from my side. And, it has been such a beautiful synergy between the three clubs. It's as if we aren't separate clubs at all. We communicated in real time. And I would say that, you guys felt friendlier than some of the clubs in our own district. And I'm sure you share that feeling too. So that is an amazing feeling. And I would also take this opportunity to give my sincere vote of thanks to our international president who graced this meeting. Also to all the participants, all the role players, all the club officers, and all the members, all the guests who attended today, because each and every one of you made this meeting a success. So let me take this opportunity now to announce the results of the polls, and apologies. I know the polls were very intrusive, but it had to be done this way because to save time. Thank you so much, everybody, for so graciously voting. Our first result for today is, of course, the most awaited one. It is for the best speaker, and our best speaker goes to, wow, Toastmaster Ashaduzzama from Dhaka Toastmasters Club. Congratulations. Best evaluator goes to, after a neck and neck fight, it goes to Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh. Aren't you glad, Gayatri, that you were invited to this meeting at the last moment? Next, we have Best Facilitator, and Best Facilitator goes to our listener, Toastmaster Zaman Hussain. Congratulations. Next, we have Table Topics and our Best Table Topics, and this one was by a huge margin. Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi from he's not even from Karachi Toastmasters Club, but okay, he's from Pakistan. And finally, Best Big Four, again, after a neck and neck fight, narrowly won by our journal evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster, District Director, Ayan Pal. And there is one more very important award to give, which was announced It is called the Critics' Choice Award. And what it is something that we do at Karachi Toastmasters Club. We ask a secret judge to score all the speeches according to the International Speech Contest ballot. And that score is combined with evaluators' score of how closely a speech adhered to the project objectives. So a speech can be the best speech in the world, but if it doesn't complete the project objectives, it will not win. Similarly, a speech that fulfills the project objectives beautifully, but is not great otherwise, still has the potential to win. So I'll just announce the top 2 winners for this Critics' Choice Award. Think of it as a contest. And both the gentlemen who are on the podium are actually ineligible to contest in an international speech contest anywhere. So congratulations. Second place goes to DTM Raghunath Raju, who was representing Karachi Toastmasters, but is from Hyderabad, India. And this is the true global blessing of Toastmasters. And our first choice winner, the Critics' Choice, goes to, of course, our international president, distinguished Toastmaster, Matt Kinsey. So those were the awards. The awards will also be prepared into certificates and they will be handed out. I've got one more important announcement to make before I have to log out, and that is our next meeting. But I would like to invite Toastmaster Minal to make that announcement.
Thank you so much. And this is such an incredible meeting and what a collaborative approach. This is not possible because of each and everyone's support. And that is make it happen. So I must congratulate to you on behalf of India and also Toastmaster Shakil, President of Dhaka Toastmaster Club. Without all your support, this meeting is incomplete. So as a team, we decided we go ahead like a river. We should learn our skill, also develop our knowledge on regular basis. So this meeting will be continue on regular basis, once meeting in every 2 months. So date announcement, I just want to call President of the Dhaka Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster. Please announce the date.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mrinal Ghosh. Yes, this is very exciting that it is happening. It is happening on every 2 months. And for that, the next declaration of this meeting is on 22nd January 2023. So that will be New Year. We'll be with fresh energy. We'll see together and we will again enjoy this moment of our synergy. That would be exciting, I think. And next time we will come with more, because today we had the World Cup, and that's why it might be that there was some conflict. But on the January and the New Year, we'll be having more vibrance, and it will be more exciting, more learning, and more vibrance would be there. So thank you very much, and looking forward to that day. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster Mrinal.
Thank you. So now I just want to hand over the podium to DTM Talha bin Hamid. Or I think we can now stop the recording and we can. Formal meeting is over. Formally now we can connect it. What do you suggest? DTM Talha? DTM Ayan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Take a group photo, maybe, whoever is left. I think most are gone.
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours, 50 minutes already over.
I think the World Cup is already over now, but I think who's the winner? Just let us
know. So everyone, once again, I would like to end this meeting by reciting another verse. And I believe it is by Iqbal, but I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. कौन कहता है मौत आएगी तो मर जाऊंगा, मैं तो दरिया हूं समंदर में उतर जाऊंगा. So this meeting The river of life needs to become a sea. Next time it will be a sea. Rivers don't die, they just fall into the sea and they become seas and oceans. And this is what we are supposed to become. Thank you so much once again, everyone. And actually, I'm logged in from my phone, so I'm not sure I can operate the Zoom controls, but I would like to now end the meeting for all, if that's okay. Or I'd just like to leave the meeting and maybe chit chat can continue. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and see you all in 2 months' time. And before that, in various other meetings within Pakistan, within India, within Bangladesh. Thank you so much, everyone. Love you all.
Talha bhai. Talha bhai.
Salahuddin Ahmed.
Yeah, yep. You were so kind to recite 2 of the shares, no? And I, in my chat box, in my statement in chat box, I mentioned of a song, Jis Desh Mein Ganga Behti Hai.
Yes.
If you allow me, I can try to
you don't
kind of
need
sing
to.
those
Yeah,
2
sure.
lines.
Sure. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
होठों पे सच्चाई रहती है, जहां दिल में सफाई रहती है, हम उस देश के वासी हैं, हम उस देश के वासी हैं, जिस देश में गंगा बहती है. This much. In fact, I probably forgot the real tune, and it was, I just spoiled the song probably, but it's still होठों पे सच्चाई रहती है और दिल में सफाई भी रहती है, and रहना चाहिए. This is what I am bad in Hindi or Urdu, but I still and always feel particularly the voice and words of Mukesh ji, and like Sawan Ka Mahina or other songs, and it's good that I remembered one song which tells of river, and it probably matched with the theme of the day today. And I am not a Toastmaster, by the way, but I enjoy being with them. And as I teach in the university or train some of the language skills student, I tell of in fact mention and refer Shakil, my friend here, who is President DTM, and suggest them or recommend them joining or taking part in any of Toastmasters Club. And one last word that President Matt, he mentioned that while inviting someone to the Toastmasters Club, it's the way he mentioned, he proposed that, or he suggested that it's better not directly inviting someone to Toastmasters Club, rather inviting to a meeting like I did today. An electrical engineer from Australia who is a Bangladeshi, I invited him by courtesy of Shakil Izaz, and he was here all the time, the whole length of the meeting. He was here, and he was so happy being with you. And this is really true. It words following that it's good to invite to meetings first, and then probably wait for him to ask you to allow him to join. You don't have to ask him to join, or her. She or he will rather ask you or request you to include them, to make them an access to Toastmasters Club. It's wonderful what President Matt said. I also felt today, and it is again proven today that it's better calling to a meeting, inviting to meetings first, and then wait for him to be requesting to join Toastmasters. Sorry, I took a lot of time, but
thank you. Thank you
sharing my
thank you
feelings
for this sharing, wonderful sharing.
Thank you very much. Please.
Yes, Rinalda.
Yeah, absolutely amazing voice. And I think it's an emotional moment for us. And we should continue that knowledge. I think, and beautifully sung. I love your song.
Oh
Whatever
my
is-
God. Oh my God.
Your voice is amazing.
No, in fact,
I think you are a singer. I think you are a singer. You are a regular singer. It's not like that you are practicing this podium, but I think you already practice a lot as per your voice is concerned.
at least silently, or at least গুনগুনাতে রয় না আর কি। আর আমার ওগুলো খুব ভালো লাগে, বাংলাতেই বলছি মৃণালদা, যে বিশেষ করে কিশোর কুমার অসম্ভব সুন্দর লাগে, যে বা গুনগুনাতে রয় না কবি আলবিদা না কেহনা। ও আচ্ছা, ইটস ট্রু হিয়ার যে আমরা কন্টিনিউ করে যাচ্ছি এবং উই রাদার ডিসলাইক saying alvida na kabhi alvida na kehna। ঠিক, আমার খুব ভালো লেগেছে। থ্যাংক ইউ শাকিল, যে আমার আজকে এন্ট্রিটা খুব কষ্ট হচ্ছিল, আমি রেজিস্টার করতে পারছিলাম না, আমরা দুজনই। পরে ভালো কথা, মৃণাল কান্তি দাকে আমার বিশেষ শুভেচ্ছা এবং কৃতজ্ঞতা যে আমি ওনার নামটা ব্যবহার করে ঢুকতে পেরেছি। So he does deserve a gratitude, lot of gratitude on my part and on my guests' part also. এবং আপনাদের সঙ্গে দেখা হবে জানুয়ারিতে যদি আমাকে অ্যালাউ করা হয়।
Absolutely,
I'll be there
absolutely.
with you, definitely, নিশ্চয়ই।
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Please, my
Thank you
pleasure,
so much.
always.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
everybody.
very much.
Thank you,
Again.
Parkas, for joining the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Have a great night also.
Salute.
Bye, Sakil bhai.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Good night.